See if it comes back on here. Is everybody seeing me now? Is anybody in here now? I am showing that I'm transmitting, so hopefully everything is good. I didn't even realize it was frozen, guys. I'm sorry. Apologize. Is anybody? It shows that I'm streaming. Anybody back out there? Do I need to refresh this maybe? Have the new one come up? Yeah, there we go. I think that's the one. I wonder if it's... Yeah, I believe I'm live, Casey. Can you see me now? Am I in here? Sorry, guys. I had a internet connection problem. It something cut out. I'm hoping that this is all working. Let me do something here real quick. I think I'm live. So I didn't get a call from anybody, so I'm going to assume that I'm live. So we're just gonna go and hopefully we get some sort of a feedback. So I don't know, we'll see. But anyways, back to what we were talking about. You know, you always want to make sure your lights are working and turned on. It's pretty important. Yeah. So, second thing, or the third thing you guys need to do is make sure that you clean the snow and ice off your mirrors. A good idea would be is to have a bottle of window cleaner with you. That way you can wipe off your mirrors and you can wipe off your windshield in extreme situations. You got to be able to see, guys. And if you guys can't see, then that's going to create a problem. You always want to make sure your rear view mirror or your side mirrors are always clean, and make sure you can properly see out of them. Very, very important. I think is probably one of the most. I would have to say it ranks up there pretty high. Of course, you always want to make sure your defrost is working. Make sure you don't have anything in the dash or on the dash so that it blocks your defrost vents. There's times where temperatures drop pretty quickly, and sometimes it can fog up pretty fast. Just make sure you have your window defrosters on. So definitely makes it pretty easy to be able to do that. So. Let's see, on down. Okay. So here's one that's pretty common, especially when you get into powdery snow. Always give yourself plenty of room behind a truck that's in front of you. I've been in numerous locations throughout the country, and I'm going to tell you right now. When you're going through Colorado, when you're going through Utah, Wyoming, whatever, you can get into some seriously powdery snow. And what that does is it basically creates a whiteout condition behind the truck. I've been in scenarios and situations before where honestly, you're following behind a truck and he hits a part of powdery snow, and you can't even see the road in front of you. Make sure you guys give yourself plenty of distance in between the truck in front of you. That way, if he slides or does something crazy, that you're going to be able to get away, and you're not going to be able to do. You're not going to run into the back of him if he has to hit his brakes or slow down or whatnot. But always give yourself plenty of room between the truck in front of you. And I'm going to probably say that several different times today. But the fact is you got to give yourself plenty of time. There's all kinds of things that can take place. The powdery snow is a really big issue, and it kind of sucks when you're on the side of a hill and you just can't see what you got going on. So. Again, you want to make sure you're seen. Make sure you're illuminated properly. Make sure you don't have a bunch of snow covering everything, and make sure that all your lights are cleaned off. Never take off with your lights covered up. You always want to make sure too, even on trailers. This is one thing I think we had a problem with last year. We had one gentleman that literally was driving through a snowstorm. And I'm not, and an officer stopped him and gave him a citation because his taillights were covered in snow, which is, in my opinion, it's pretty asinine, because how are you supposed to see? But it is what it is, so in other words, stop frequently, walk around your unit, make sure you can sit there, make sure you don't have any snow that's covering any of your lights. Make sure your DOT reflective tape is showing, and whatnot. I think that was a load of crap, but it is what it is. I mean, you got to get out and you got to check that kind of stuff, and make sure that your lights are visible. But I've been in many situations where the truck in front of me, he's been driving and he has not got out of his truck to clean off his lights, and they were actually just covered. And it's not. It's not his fault. I guess it is, but it's not. But you always got to make sure you have them wiped off. So, okay. Make sure you slow down. Take your time. This is from Leanne. She says that you need to tell the guys to do that. Braking. Now here's a good one. All right, so braking can be very difficult when you're on ice and snow. Your instinct, the moment that you hit a slick spot on the road, is to hit the brakes. That is not the right thing to do. You need to let off the gas, let your truck coast to a slower speed by either coasting or by gently applying brakes. You don't want to just mash on the brakes to try to slow down, because the moment you do that, you're going to jackknife. Slow down. Don't hit your brakes, and let it coast to a stop, or coast to a slower speed. You never want to hit your brakes whenever you're driving on snow and ice. Now, here's another thing. If you're driving and let's say your rear end of the power unit starts to slide out from underneath you. If you know what you're doing and you have your brakes set up correctly on your trailer, you can reach down fairly quickly and you can grab your trailer control on your brake, or your gain on your brake controller, and you can slide that over ever so slightly, so that basically what happens is your truck is going like this and your trailer is going like that. But the moment that you hit that brake, provided you don't hit it too hard, you can't hit it too hard, otherwise it'll cause the trailer to skid. You don't want to skid, but you want to cause a gentle pressure to straighten you back out, and typically it will work and it'll straighten you back out. You don't want to hit it too hard, though, because if you hit it too hard, you'll create a different type of a scenario and situation where basically now the trailer's not gaining any traction, and now you've got two units that are sliding rather than just the rear end of your truck. So you got to be careful with that. But that is one one good way to be able to get you into a scenario where you can actually stretch the unit back out rather than it, it kind of getting into a jackknife scenario. So I'm going to try to get back in here and see if this is actually recording, and I think it is, but I don't know. We'll see. It says that people are here and people are watching, but it's still showing that I've only been on for 45 seconds. So I don't know. I don't know if it's working or not. I hope it is. I think it is. So let's see here. Of course, again, good follow distance. Another thing you got to look out for when you're driving in winter conditions is you have to keep in mind the wind. Running the wind when you're on running slick roads is incredibly dangerous. It's especially if you're running a taller load. The wind can push you and slap you around like you would not believe. It is definitely something you always got to watch out for, and make sure that if it's blowing really hard, you shouldn't even be driving anyways. But if it is and you're continuously moving, you always got to make sure you watch out the wind, especially when you're going across bridges. That's probably one of the worst feelings you could ever have is when you're on top of a bridge, the wind's blowing, and literally it's pushing the rear end of the truck, where you're basically sliding, and it's pretty bad. So, I don't know why, but I'm feeling pretty nervous now. I don't know if this thing is recording or not. I hope it is. So, I hope it is. Can somebody message me on my phone if this thing is going out? Because I'm just text me or something. Let me know that the thing is working. Because I would hate to look like a jackass, and I probably already look like one. Whatever, it don't matter. Let's see here. See what we got. Something, is it showing up? It still says everything is working. So, see if we can do a chat overlay. Oh, thank you, Casey. I appreciate that. Thank you. I can't get anything to show up yet, so I don't know if I'm actually live or what. I appreciate it. Thanks, you, Casey. Appreciate that. So when you're driving on snow and ice, like I said, be careful when you're braking. You hit a slick spot on the road. The first thing that you're going to want to do is your instinct is literally to hit your brakes. That is the worst thing that you could do. It can cause a lot of problems. Do not hit your brakes when you're on ice, at least at the initial, whenever you first initially do it. It can really honestly be a really bad day if you hit your brakes. Now, when the guys are going into winter weather driving in mountainous areas, okay, the truth be told is when you're going down a hill, you never, ever hit your brakes. Typically, you want to be driving slow anyways, but the fact of the matter is when you're going down the hill, basically you need to coast down the hill. You take your foot off the accelerator, you gently apply brakes, gently, and you don't mash it. And that is something that I can't stress enough. You should not ever mash your brakes whenever you're driving on snow and ice. Yeah, so I feel like I'm blind here, guys. I really do. I don't have. Let me see if I can try to get some more stuff up here because I really honestly feel like I'm blind. Let's see. Nothing is still showing up. Maybe if I go to my other pages. Hmm. Well, guys, I'm just going to have to wing it here. This isn't going to be a very good one. I'm just going to have to. I'm just going to have to keep talking, and I don't have any feedback to work off of, so it's going to be a little difficult. So, so we talked about the brakes. Um, there's a couple of good applications that you can actually get. I know Google's getting pretty good with showing some weather conditions. You can actually get it to where it's actually showing the visible traffic, like it'll show like red or green or whatnot. That's definitely a good place to go. That's for planning your trips ahead, um, and stuff like that. Um, I know some of the fancier GPSs, they have the options to be able to do stuff like that. Um, I, I don't like the GPSs. I typically like road atlases, so I'm old school, and I'll either call I'll go online and I'll check the road conditions or whatnot. You can always go online and check your road conditions, um, to what state you're going through. Like for example, we have a gentleman that's in Pennsylvania right now, and you can just go to the Pennsylvania Department of Transportation website, and it'll have a listing there where you can actually go and check road conditions and whatnot. Um, let's see here. Let's just do Google, and I'm sure there's a bunch of other ones that you can do, but always try to check your road conditions, see what's going on. One of the bigger issues that I guess I'm sorry, guys. Like I said, this one is horrible. I could do much better, but like I said, I'm feeling really blind right now, incredibly blind. So hopefully everybody's laughing their butt off at me because I I'm sorry, but it is what it is. So um, one of the things I want you guys to take from this, if you don't get anything from this, the one thing I definitely want you guys to understand and to take from this, number one, there is no load, no order that is worth your life, ever. I stand firm, and I always will. And if any of my customers want to give me grief about a load not being delivered simply because a driver decided he didn't want to drive in road conditions, I'm just going to have to tell them I'm sorry that we weren't able to do that, but I'm not going to risk my life, the load's life, or the equipment simply because you want a load delivered. Um, winter weather driving is something that it's up to each individual driver, but they still need to make the call whether or not it's safe or not to be able to keep continuing or to pull off. If you ever run into a situation, number one, if any of you ever run into a situation and there's a company out there that makes you feel guilty because you had to pull off because you didn't feel like it was very safe to run anymore, you shouldn't be working for that company. It's as simple as that. If somebody's going to give you crap because you just don't feel as though that you're safe to be running the road, and somebody wants you to run that, you don't need to work for them. With us, that is something that we always make sure. Look, you need to feel that you're safe. There is no load. Look, the monetary gains is not worth going and destroying equipment, getting yourself in an accident, killing somebody else, mangling somebody else. It's just not worth it. So, if the road conditions are that bad and they're slick, just pull off, man. Park it, get you 10 or 15 hours of sleep, and start out again whenever. I can't stress this enough. There is no reason to get into an accident over because you want to hurry up and get to a load or get delivered. It's not worth it. It's not worth it to me. And I'll tell every single person that walks in this door, oh, we got to get there. We got to get there. No, you don't. You got to be safe. You got to come home to your families. You got to make sure you live a day. You know, you got to make sure that you live. You can't get into a situation where you're gonna kill yourself simply because you have a load on your trailer. It's just that's ridiculous. So I don't care if we do some broker stuff too. And if a broker is going to sit there and complain and whine and scream because his load wasn't delivered or it's running a day behind, look, bub, if you don't understand the problem, you don't need to be a broker. You know, you're an idiot. If you don't have any sympathy for my drivers or my trucks or my equipment, and you want to sit there and you want to throw and raise a fit because your load was a day late simply because of weather, we don't need to work for you. We don't need to pull your stuff. In fact, if you really want to get technical, you can take your happy ass and get out in the truck yourself, go drive in the weather conditions, and you can come and deliver the load. Simple as that. There is nothing more important than your life. Period. Ever. Doesn't matter. Nothing else. Okay? So, a couple other things here we want to touch base with is some things that are pretty nice or pretty good to carry in the truck with you. You know, a bag of salt, some road salt would be good. However, you got to be careful how you use that. You can actually compound a problem by using road salt depending on what you got going on. A lot of times it's better to carry some sand with you. Like a 150-pound bag of sand or something like that, if you have an option to do that. Definitely, whenever you start going into the mountains and whatnot, you definitely are going to have snow chains. The snow chains have been in effect for a few weeks or a few months now. But we typically don't send any of our guys out to Colorado or out west unless they absolutely want to go. And then if they absolutely want to go out west, then we make sure that they have the required equipment. In some places, that you'll actually be fined for not having your snow chains. And all they have to do is literally just ask you. Colorado is one of them. They can actually give you a citation. I do not know how much the citation is, but the last time it was pretty salty. So, but yeah. I think as far as winter weather driving, I mean, I think I've covered a lot. I know I've kind of went in a couple of different directions, and I know I'm just trying to do this the best I can with flying blind. So I don't know why I'm blind, but I just am. So let me try to get back in here and see if I can actually see something here. Maybe I may have 100 different. Yeah, it's still doing it. That is crazy. Why is that the crazy? Oh well, is what it is. So anyways, I want to wish everybody be safe out there and have a good day. And hopefully this stream will be better next week. Hell, I may end up redoing the damn thing. I may end up trying to fix the thing here in 40 or 50 minutes and see what was going on, and pretty much go from there. Yeah. So, anyways, next week is going to be Christmas. I will be live on Thursday on Christmas Eve. Leanne, I just received your messaging, and I can't see anything. I really can't see anything. I wish I could, but I can't see anything. It's not showing up on any of the pages that we have here, and it's not even showing on my Facebook page. Tarping in cold weather. You really want me to go into that right now? Lee, she sent me a Facebook message, so that's how I'm getting it. But as far as any of the other messages, I'm not seeing anything. I don't know why that's the case. That is what it is. What is the updates? I think you can see all of each other's. This is ticking me off. It's okay. Yeah, Dawn just sent me an instant message over Messenger, and yes, I am on the correct one. Yes, I am on the correct one. Um, yeah, I am definitely on the correct one, guys. Something's just up with my something's just up with my account. I don't know what's going on here. Maybe we've hit the threshold where literally we broke in Facebook. Maybe that's what it is. Yeah, that might be it. I broke Facebook, right? That's what it is. I'm so much of a likable fella that I literally just broke Facebook. That's what it was, right? We can pretend that that's what's happened. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm serious. Yeah, I don't know. I tell you what, being that we're having a little bit of technical difficulty tonight, I think we're going to go ahead and I'm not going to talk about cold weather tarping tonight. That is definitely a topic of conversation I want to touch base with, but it's going to be something that right now, guys, I can't do it right now. I need to have feedback. I have to have somebody conversating with me here because with me just talking to a microphone and looking at a camera, I honestly, this is this is very uncomfortable. I've never been so uncomfortable in my life until now. This is probably the most uncomfortable I've been for a very long time. So I think we're going to go ahead and hold off on that. So, anyways, like I was saying, next week's going to be Christmas Eve. We're going to be on. I'm going to be on Christmas Eve. Not going to really talk about anything. Just going to have a nice little conversation. Hopefully, we'll have some people that it's involved. We understand that it's Christmas Eve, so it is what it is. So, but anyways, guys, I appreciate everything you do. Thanks a lot, ladies, for what you do. Um, we would definitely want to work with the guys. If you guys have any questions, you guys are more than welcome to give me a call here in the office. And if you have any more suggestions, I can touch on this a little bit later. I mean, we've got Friday. I could always do this. I'm trying to keep it on Thursdays, but if I have to do it tomorrow, I'll do it tomorrow. But if you guys have any suggestions or comments that you want to do or you want to talk about winter weather driving, I would definitely enjoy that. And again, I apologize for tonight. Tonight was, I don't know what went wrong, but it went wrong. So, and I'm just trying to finish. So, but anyways, you guys have a fantastic evening. Drivers, watch for black ice out there. There's still some slick spots. Be very, very careful when you're on your way back or what you're doing this afternoon. Be careful, stay warm, and we'll try to be in touch with you guys next week. So we'll talk to you guys later. Have a good one.